Honestly, that Arathi book seemed to be more like a semi-meta joke about his theory crafting cosmic forces. Yeah, and I think that that's an unfortunate interpretation, because I don't really think that that's what it is, personally. That is such a... At that point, just don't interact with it. Just don't even say anything about it. Maybe we should stop and consider that it's actually real, or that parts of it are real. The idea that individual forces in this kind of monopolar structure are unstable. I don't really understand that it's a joke take, to be honest. I don't know if it's because I've been diving into things hardcore for RP or what. It's like when people say like, oh, Pyro, your ideas are better than what Blizzard writes. Motherfucker, we're literally watching those very same things align in real fucking time. So don't give me that bullshit. My ideas are the same shit that Blizzard's writing. That's why I get the ideas. Because I'm trying to predict it. That's what I do. You know? People can't respect the fact that you can that things are predictable because the breadcrumbs and the themes and the things are there. But because people don't want to spend the time and the effort to find them, they just discard it and act like it's not real. Oh, it must be a joke. It's also really insulting to people, you know, with the intelligence or media literacy to pursue it, because what people are essentially saying is, because I can't do it, no one else could do it. I think it's a joke, so it must be a joke. This isn't real. It's like, okay, dude. Yeah, okay. From a meta perspective, Blizzard needs to expand the setting for further expansions. That's why we're getting Avalorn more continents. It stands to reason they'd expand the cosmos for the same reason. It's not a joke. I think what people also need to realize is that the model that's presented does not have to be an expansion of the cosmos. What people need to realize is that it's a model trying to predict what we already have. Trying to depict, rather, what we already have. Guys, what you have to understand is that it's all a big rainbow of colors and shades and all this stuff, okay? It's not as complex as people are making it out to be, which is the beauty in the philosophy behind the speculation. The oneness and interconnectivity of the cosmos is literally the point. It's the point. So when we're trying to like use this crazy fucking model, people are way overthinking it. You have 6 poles that come out of the center, which are perceived as their individual cosmic forces, but what they're trying to tell you, they've been trying to tell you this for 4 expansions now, is that when you bleed cosmic forces together and powers and magics together, you get other magics. If you played Zereth Mortis and paid attention, you know that. So what you learn in the Arathi book is not even surprising. You're like, oh, this is another perspective that corroborates a perspective I learned in Zereth Mortis. That's very interesting. Now, why do they see it that way? What are the similarities? What is to be gleaned there? What it's trying to tell you is that things that often appear to be individual and they often have a partner. There's a bond of some kind. Even the Firelands is equal amounts of magma as it is fire, and there's a reason for that. That's what they're trying to get you to see, right? It's part of why I say the elemental chaos or limbo, so to speak, in World of Warcraft not existing is very weird, because in my mind, I think of the commingling and intermingling of elements, para-elemental forces, quasi-elemental forces, things that are a big fucking deal in D&D and have been for fucking decades, that are just kind of now being brought to light more in World of Warcraft. There's a reason that so many quests have to do with mud, mist, dust. It's not a fucking accident. They're doing it on purpose. They're trying to show you what happens when you take 2 individual things and you put them together. What is created? It's the same concept. Why would Sargeras connect with Argus? If you took his flaming holy radiance and Argus's death unmaking and you put them together, would you get a new power? What is that? And if you were to capture all the powers in the cosmos, all of them, and put them together, what would you get? Would you get Azeroth? Would you get creation? Does it work the other way around? Is she the source where all of the primordial essence of soul and power and spirit comes from, that splits off into 6 perceived cosmic forces that then combine together to make this grand tapestry that we look at? That is what the model is trying to suggest to you. That it's not a six thing. People think so literally two-dimensionally. and you look, and we've speculated this for years now, Taliesin, Bellular, me, Accolon, everyone at some point has made that remark. What if the chronicle map of the cosmos is meant to be a 3-dimensional object? You guys have heard that countless fucking times, and if you haven't, I'm telling you right now, we have been saying that for literally years. Years that has been a discussion. So now that we have a book that references a 3, 4, 5D model potentially, people are thinking it's a joke. What they're not realizing is that the shape that it's referring to is not different from something like a D20 D&D dice, an RPG dice. It's literally right in the vein of what we're doing. They're using the structure of a D20 to try to get you to visually conceptualize how the cosmos is interconnected. Dude, that's the most meta fucking shit ever. That's so sick. That's sick. The teeny video about the D3 cosmic, the cosmic chart was crazy for me. I don't watch their videos, so I don't really know what you're talking about, but I remember how they had the, oh, I think I know what you're talking about. He had like it's a different perspective, right? He has them all laid out and he like turns it and it's the same thing, but just from a different look. Same concept. That, if anything, goes to show you, and I agree with Taliesin in this case, which is rare, but I do, that, and I agreed with him on things like Argus being like Galactus too. Very, very correct observation from Taliesin. That without his remarks, I probably never would have realized. But it's important to say this, Anonymous Gifter, thanks for gifting 2 subs, but what he shows in there is, if anything, that perhaps it is not a 2-dimensional structure to be understood on a 2D plane like this. Perhaps it is a 3-dimensional structure. And then as we look at the inner structures and realize that it's a lot more complex than that, we get into even other dimensions. So anyway, that's my little rant about how the Arathi thing is not just a joke. I really don't think it's just a joke. It's confusing, yes. It's written to befuddle people, yes. There's no question about that. If you think that this is like let me put this, if anyone thinks that this is a new thing that they've done, no. Go into Old Uldaman, go all the way to the end, and I want you to talk to the lore keeper of Norganon. I want you to read what's on the discs of Norganon. Because when they start talking about stabilization matrices and the components of biomass like biomass creations and shit, they think that it's, you'd read it and you'd think, oh, this is just gibberish bullshit. They're just using big words to try to confuse you. That's literally all it is. All they're doing in these books, they're just using big words. So just take the word that you don't know what it means and just Google it, okay? And just Google it. And then go back to what you're reading and be like, oh, that's what they're saying. It seems silly, but it's not that hard to figure out what they're trying to say to you. The way it's written is a joke, because it's from the mage's POV and very pompous. People don't say the joke is the information. Yes, they do. BBs, yes, they do. That's what's being implied, is that as there are some people that are saying that it's like a fourth wall breaking type of thing. Like Bellular literally says that he thinks that it's making fun of the Shadowlands, that it is a bit, that the entire thing is a bit to make fun of Shadowlands. I do not agree with that. That's what I'm saying. So yes, it is written in a humorous way to a regard, yes, but it is being disregarded. It is.